guys, Mrs. Rainey here. I'm going to talk about art critique today and this week. So what is art critique? Art critique is a way to reflect on our own work. It's a way to reflect on the work of others, and it's a way to grow and learn as an artist. So hopefully we all remember critiquing while we were in the art room. We've done this throughout the year. If you're in Art 2 or Art 3, you've done this over the years with me in class. So hopefully this will be a review for you guys, and we will have an online critique this week through Padlet. So I'm really excited to see what you guys do and how it turns out. All right, so the formal definition of critique in art is as follows. Art criticism is the discussion or evaluation of visual art. Art critics usually criticize art in the context of aesthetics or the theory of beauty. Okay, so when we talk about art criticism, we're not necessarily saying, criticize in a bad way. We're saying, how we critique the art, and an art critic does this in a way that hopefully helps the viewer understand the art and the artist understand the way that the viewer sees the work of art. And it helps us to grow and learn as artists as well. All right, so a critique. What is a critique? A critique is a detailed analysis and assessment of something. In our case, it's a work of art, especially a literary, philosophical, or political theory. So we're going to talk about art critique. You don't have to get super detailed on your Padlet critique, just maybe, one or two sentences. I'll show you guys some examples. And we're going to talk about the three main types of art as well. So if you want to learn more about art critique specifically, you can go to this Britannica link and learn more there. But now let's talk about the three main types of art, basically three main categories of art when we are talking about critiquing art. So the first one is representational art. Representational artwork aims to represent actual objects or subjects from reality. So when we're looking at this picture here on this slide, we see a woman and a child. Absolutely, unequivocally, I don't think anybody can disagree on the fact that this is, a painting of two humans, a woman and a little girl, sitting outside in nature. Okay, so the artist wanted us to see two humans outside in nature, and that is definitely what's being represented here in this work of art. Okay. Next, we talk about abstract art. Art that's known as abstract art aims to take subjects from reality, but present them in a way that is different from the way they are viewed in our reality. So here we see somebody playing a guitar, right? We can probably all agree that this looks like a figure playing a stringed instrument like a guitar. Okay, so not as representational as that other work, but it definitely looks like, a figure playing a guitar. Maybe not perfect. It's been abstracted. It's not exactly how we would see it in reality, but we can all make out the shapes and tell what the artist is trying to represent to us. Okay, and in an abstracted or altered way. All right, now the last category we talk about when we're doing art critique is non-objective art. Non-objective art is often mistaken for abstract art, although it is entirely different from it. So non-objective art takes nothing from reality. So the difference between abstract art and non-objective art is that abstract art, like the figure playing the guitar, looks like something we recognize from our reality. Non-objective art looks like nothing from reality. So it doesn't look like something that's human or nature. It just looks like shapes or colors or lines on the page. So that's what we see here. We see something that looks like nothing from our reality. And if you want to learn a little more, feel free to click on this link. Okay, so now let's get to our assignment. So, positive critique and virtual art room gallery walk. That's what we're going to do today or this week on Padlet. Okay, so this week's assignment will be completed on Padlet. If you're in Art 1, you'll have an Art 1 specific link to click on. And in Art 2, you'll have an Art 2 Padlet to go to. In Art 3, you'll have an Art 3 Padlet. So make sure that you click on the link that is embedded in your assignment within Canvas. Okay, and make sure that you read the directions at the top of the Padlet. So reading directions is important, y'all. All of the directions are on the Padlet. So obviously you guys all found the link to click here to listen to this, my presentation here. So I'm glad you did that. You will receive 85 points for posting and participating in the Padlet critique this week, and then 15 points for including your name on Padlet. So see the instructions on Padlet through the link above for full details. So I'm going to show you guys, if you click on the link for Padlet, it's going to bring up your Padlet and it's going to say here, Art 3, Positive Critique and Virtual Art Room Gallery Walk. So the directions say, add your name, not anonymous, post one of the art assignments you have completed since eLearning began, just one, your choice. It has to be an assignment that you did for art at Vandeventer. So it has to be a Vandeventer art assignment. Don't post some random artwork that you've done. So it has to be one of our assignments that all the students are familiar with. Maybe it's your printmaking assignment. Maybe it was your interactive drawing from last week. It has to be one of the assignments we've completed for art since eLearning began, okay? And then reflect on why you chose to do the work of art that you did and what you did to create it. So you could say, post your printmaking piece and say, I posted my printmaking piece because I used 3 different textures and I'm very, very proud of the way it turned out. Or I posted this piece because it was really challenging, but I'm excited about the way that I pulled it all together. Okay, so then after you post your own artwork and make sure you put your name on it, there's a way you can either create an account with Padlet and it adds your name that way. But if you don't do that, that's okay. You don't have to do that. Or if it doesn't work that way for you, that's fine. Just make sure you say, I chose my printmaking assignment to post here because I used these 3 textures and I thought it turned out really well. And then put, signed Mrs. Rainey, okay? Or signed Tommy or whatever your name is, all right? Then after that, you need to post a positive comment on someone else's photo post with your name. So leave your name. If you see someone's interactive drawing and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so clever, I never would have thought of that. Post that. Oh, I love how you used the towel to make it look like the guy was putting his hands on the blanket and he was under a blanket. That's so clever or creative. And then sign your name from Susie Q. Okay. So your participation in the activity counts as 85% of your grade. Making sure your name appears above or within your reflection will count as the other 15% of your grade. So you guys have to sign your work. You have to put your name on this somewhere on this so that we know which work of art belongs to who. Okay. So all good artists sign their work. Have fun, and I hope you enjoy seeing what your peers have been up to in the virtual art room. So this is just like a virtual gallery walk. Now, real quickly, I'm going to show you one of my colleagues' Padlet that's full. So if you see here, this is what it's going to look like when it's totally full. So you can say something about it, like, look here, Austin S. says, I chose the letter G because it's the first letter in my sister's name, and it's the 7th letter of the alphabet, and my favorite number is 7. I decorated it by mixing paint in a cup and pouring it on top of the letter. Oh, and if you turn it upside down, it turns into a C. Okay? So look, it got 3 hearts and 1 comment. This is so cool, Austin. Glad you're trying new techniques. Okay? So when it's done, look at all these things you guys are going to get to see in the virtual art room. Okay? So that's what I want our Padlets to look like when they're all full. This is the Art 3 Padlet. This is what the Art 2 Padlet looks like, and this is what the Art 1 Padlet looks like. So have fun, go to town. I can't wait to see what you guys do. I miss y'all like crazy, and I hope you're all safe and healthy and well at home. Thanks a lot, guys.